This is really about you knowing that there is a new mode of operation and believing in that and having this sort of be in the background. For me, this has been truly miraculous to my evolution. Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia and this is TransurfingTV. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I like to call identity expansion. This is one of my little tips or tricks that I follow myself. After a friend of mine a couple of years ago, I was terrified to talk on camera and terrified to create content with my image or speak publicly. And he said to me, it's time to learn some new skills, Renee. It's time to expand, right? It's time to expand. And at first, my lower self, the lower nature of myself, wanted to keep, you can't do that. That's not for you. That's for other people. It's scary. And, all these lower nature thoughts. And then I realized at a certain point, okay, this is exactly how you access higher lifelines, by expanding out of yourself to the higher version of yourself. And that higher version of yourself connects with those higher lifelines where more of what you want exists. And that sort of keeping myself in my shell, keeping myself in my comfort zone, keeping myself in the non-expanded version of Renee was my brick wall, right? So to break through that brick wall, I had to really start practicing this thing that I call identity expansion. And I'm continuing to do this daily. It's a daily practice. It's a daily I remain aware and mindful of exactly this, and this is what is allowing me to grow everything that I'm doing, because all that is outside of me, all the progress, all the results, is really just a reflection of what's going on internally. So this is how I've been doing it. Before I get started, remember to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me. To enter my daily giveaway for my reprogramming stickers, subscribe, get the Vadim Zeland interview, link below, free teachable course. Well, it's not really a course, but it's a bunch of freebies. If you want them, you can sign up and see what Vadim Zeland had to say recently when I asked him a number of questions. And Facebook, International Transurfing Institute Facebook group, please join us if you would like to participate in some lively conversations about transurfing. And Instagram, reality_transurfing. Check me out, y'all. So identity expansion. Okay, so I'm using the lifeline illustration that I like to sort of illustrate to you guys how expanding up out of your current identity allows you to move up to higher lifelines. Now, when I say expand, I'm not meaning change. I'm not meaning contrived change. This is you tapping into parts of who you already are as an individual and optimizing some of these sectors of self that have yet to be tapped, right? This is exactly what happened for me. My number one way that I was not connecting with these different sectors of self, my different sectors of self, was my limiting beliefs, my lower beliefs, my old thinking patterns, that, I was the way that I was the static version of myself, and there was really no changing it. That again, certain things were intended for other people, but not for me, insecurities keeping me limited, and all sorts of negative thought patterns that were in a way, sort of keeping an anchor on the lower version of myself. So expanding away, cutting that anchor off, and expanding away from those lower beliefs, those lower thinking patterns, that lower version of myself was me expanding out of myself, and this is how I did it. So I'm going to speak first on how you can expand out of yourself, or expand on your identity starting today, and then what is probably holding you back from doing this. And it's really just like a 1-2 punch, right? Once you can see what you can do, once you realize or you fully grasp what it is you're capable of, and then look at what is anchoring you to the version of yourself and the version of reality that you're currently experiencing, then you can have a reason to detach from that anchor and start in expanding upward. So these are a little bit out of order, but I will go through them in the order that I see beneficial. First is set the intention to expand. So this is really the number one step, as I say, for creating your own reality in general. You have to acknowledge first that version of reality does in fact exist. If you don't believe it exists, you're not going to get there. You have to acknowledge first that version of reality does in fact exist. And it's the same with versions of self, right? So just as Vadim Zeland presents that there is an infinite number of versions of reality, I view this as the same for us as individuals. There is an infinite number of different versions of me, from the version of me that's like, Tony Robbins status, to the version of me that is homeless, drug addicted, the super low version of me, and everything in between, right? An infinite number of versions of me that I have ability to access, right? So setting the intention to whatever level I'm at now, whatever version of me I'm at now, making sure that the intention is there to expand out of this current identity. Now again, this does not mean change. This means to evolve in ways that are already very accessible to me. Now, there are some surprises in there. I never believed in a million years that I'd be a YouTuber, right? So in the beginning, it was kind of like, well, does that version of me actually exist? It doesn't feel like that's something that's already within, but it took me taking some action to figure out that it was indeed true, that there was skills, there were things in there that all I needed to do was take action in that direction, and it would very, very quickly be revealed to me that was a part of myself that I did not realize was there. And it's actually pretty amazing, especially for those of you that are middle-aged. I'm telling you, you can completely rewrite the script of you starting today, and you will be absolutely shocked. So setting the intention to expand first. I'll move down from there from high to low. Alternatives flow is a big one. So once you've set the intention to expand up out of yourself, to evolve, to learn new skills, to take yourself in a different direction, then it becomes about the alternatives flow and outer intention, helping you to connect with exactly what you need to connect with that is going to allow that evolution. Now here's the tricky part. All this old thinking is going to get in the way in the beginning. So I'll give you an example. So when I set the intention, okay, I'm going to try to take this whole thing to the next level. I need to learn how to do certain things, or I need to at least take action in the direction to see if I can do some of this stuff. Now, somebody would contact me and say, hey, can you make a video for this? And immediately my lower self would go, oh, no, you can't do that, right? And would interject. So this is exactly that moment that you need to wake up. I see myself, I see my reality in that moment, and realize this is exactly how you are going to expand out of your current identity. Is when that outer intention thing comes, and you have that old version of you, or that current version of you, or that lower thinking version of you say, oh no, you can't do that. That's not for you. That's for other people. You don't have those skills. Some sort of excuse. This is exactly the thing that you need to push through and actually do. So this is when you allow your higher self to take over. And I'll talk about this more in a moment. Higher self riding shotgun. This is when you negate that lower voice, and you allow your higher self to say, it's okay, it's time to evolve, it's time to move forward, it's time to move higher, and actually allow yourself to push beyond via action that lower nature thought voice, whatever. Okay, so again, your world will absolutely connect you with everything that you need to connect with to evolve and expand. But if your lower nature self is the one that's in the driver's seat, it will constantly override this outer intention, saying that, oh, it's an accident that I'm being asked this. That's not for me. Sorry, I can't do that. And kind of putting your hands up to the world in the ways that you really just need to let the world come up and tell you exactly what it is you need to do, because that will happen, and that's exactly what happened for me. Improve frequency and action. So again, I've been talking a lot lately about improving frequency, and this is really where it's at, because that higher version of you is resonating at a higher frequency. The lower version of you is resonating at a lower frequency. So when New Year's came, I decided, okay, no more alcohol, no more watching violence on TV, no more hanging around anyone that you feel is lowering your frequency beyond the time that you have set. So if I'm around somebody, let's say a family member or a friend, and we're gossiping or we're doing something, I really do have like a catch now that I will only allow myself so much energy or time in this scenario before I pull the ripcord and go, okay, I gotta go, because I don't want it to lower my frequency. So improving on my frequency in whatever ways I deem beneficial to me, and then also taking action in the direction of whatever I perceive my higher self to be. This is like identity expansion number 101. This is really going to be a very quick, very rapid way to. So the thing that I like to say is this: when you go to the gym, and let's say you set a New Year's resolution, you go to the gym and you go for the first week, and that first week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, you're not seeing any results. It's super painful. You don't want to go. You try to make excuses, but you stay with it and you go, right? And then after a certain period of time, you start seeing results. And then those results, seeing results like getting on the scale and you're 5 pounds lighter, or your jeans are not fitting as tightly, then you see those results, then it's the result that motivates you to keep going, right? Because you're like, oh, this is good and I'm seeing results. So that result keeps that fire burning, that energy burning for you to continue going to the gym. So this is kind of how it works with identity expansion as well. As soon as you see your reality or yourself starting to respond to these different things that you do to expand out of yourself, and you say to yourself, oh my God, I'm actually becoming this person. Or, oh my God, I actually am becoming the higher version of myself. Or, oh my God, my external environment is responding to me as though I am the higher version of myself. Then once you see that result, then it's easier to just keep moving on it more and more and more and more, right? So commit to learning new skills. Again, getting back to what my friend said to me, time to learn new skills. So what skill do you need to start to sharpen or evolve today that is something that is going to be beneficial to some movement forward, both in self and in lifeline? Higher self riding shotgun. Again, higher self riding shotgun for me means that I'm checking in with the higher version of myself, not the lower version of myself. So if somebody says, hey Renee, can you do this? I make sure that I ask my higher self, is this good? Do I have heart and mind coordination over this? Should I do this? I don't allow my lower self to go, oh wait, you can't do that. That's too scary, or it's not for you, or you'll fail, or any of those kind of thoughts. I allow, and I have a meditation on connecting with your higher self. I believe it's called lower self versus higher self. And this is really about you forming a deeper connection to your higher self that you take with you throughout your day. So it's kind of like when I'm driving my car and I'm thinking about things, my higher self is sitting in the passenger seat, and it's with my higher self that I'm having these conversations about my evolution and my development. I'm absolutely not allowing my lower self to navigate where it is that I'm going, right? And this I've talked about this also in some of my past videos. Your lower self and your higher self can have conversations. So anytime that lower self voice starts to come in, allow your higher self voice to go, no, it's okay. This is going to be the new program. These are the intentions that we're setting. We're going to see where this goes, and just simply invite lower self to come along, but not have a voice in the direction that you're moving, either self or life track. So staying connected to higher knowledge, this is a big one. Immersing yourself in things like reality transurfing, keeping this stuff very available, right? And constantly reconnecting to, okay, new program, I am capable, I can do this, this is the right thing, I'm going to expand, keeping all of those thoughts forward and up, right? Not back and down. This is really about you knowing that there is a new mode of operation, and believing in that, and having this sort of be in the background. For me, this has been truly miraculous to my evolution. Okay, so what is going to anchor you from doing these things? What is going to try to pull you away from exercises, action, all this kind of stuff? Pendulums, right? Pendulums that don't want you to evolve. Look at my video, Leaving Others on Lower Life Tracks. This is definitely something that happens when you start to do this. The lower people in your life are going to go, what the hell are you doing? No. This is the program. We like this version of reality. We like this comfort zone. And other pendulums as well. Pendulums that want you to stay connected to the program they're offering you, or have you hooked into, not the program that you have set for yourself. Again, limiting beliefs and old thinking patterns. This is number one. So anytime anything comes in your direction and you feel yourself say, this isn't for me, I can't do this, this is for other people, I'm not the type of person that does anything like this, all that kind of thinking, it's actually a positive when you have these thoughts, because when this thought pops up, this is the exact thought that you have to eradicate. And if you eradicate it and you push it to the side, you can expand then. This is your lower nature self trying to keep you low. So really view these thoughts as a navigation tool to expand upward. So anytime you hear one of those thoughts, oh, I'm going to act in the opposite direction of this thought, and that is, in fact, expansion. Low frequency and no action. Obviously, I covered that over here. Keeping your frequency low, keeping, and this is again why I always recommend anomalous action. Acting outside of yourself, acting outside of your comfort zone, acting in a different direction, even if it is just doing things that's going to raise your frequency. This is going to open up a whole new sector of reality for you, where you may possibly connect with via the outer intention, and the alternatives flow, exactly what you need in order for you to expand out of the identity, the state of being, the current state of self that you are experiencing right now. So anomalous action, anomalous action, anomalous action. So let me know what you think of this video, everybody. Are you ready to rejuvenate your identity, expand up out of yourself, create or connect with a higher version of you? Let me know your thoughts on this one and what you could rid yourself of in your current reality that is going to break down some of that barrier between the version of yourself that you're experiencing right now and a higher version of you. Let me know your thoughts, like this video, subscribe, all that good stuff, and thank you so much for watching my video. Bye guys.